Hello, McFluffy52 here, back with some more, well, not Percy All will be one action today. Today we're checking out Explorer, because I've been struggling to make any sort of new, interesting standard deck, so I thought, why not? Let's go hop back to the past and have some fun in Explorer with some of my favorite decks. So today we're taking a look at Scute Dolls, because we're playing Scute Swarm. This card is from Zendikar, uh, the Royal of Zendikar? Wait, I don't remember the set. Anyways, Scute Swarm, landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, though, it creates a copy of itself, which is super relevant. So if you get to 6 lands and you keep hitting those land drops, Scute Swarm doubles, and then it doubles, and then it doubles, and then it doubles, and oh my goodness, all of a sudden, where is the board? It's all just scutes. So that's kind of the goal here, is we're trying to utilize Scute Swarm, but we have an actual very special plan to use it with Dollhouse of Horrors. It says, well, we've seen this before, but it's a 5 mana artifact that says pay 1, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of that exiled card, except it's a 0/0 construct artifact in addition to its other types, and it gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. Now this is really relevant because Scute Swarm creates a copy of itself. So if we use this on Scute Swarm and then we create a copy, well, creates a copy of that artifact one, and so each Scute Swarm is now a 2/2. And then if they copy themselves again, each Scute Swarm, you have 4 of them, and they're 4/4s. So it gets out of hand really fast. We're playing with a lot of fun cards, some from like Cold Time here. Bonding of the Old Gods I love this card. Destroy Non-Land Permanent is the first chapter, and then the second chapter is search for a forest card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle, and then lastly, creatures gain Death Touch until end of turn. The last part, the least relevant, but let's go ahead and hop into some Explorer ranked games and see how we can do. There'll be a full deck at the end of the video, so stick around if you're interested in that, and let's go ahead and go. I have to admit though, I don't think I was the one who originally came up with this list. I think I made probably some tweaks because my card collection is a little different than other people's, so I may have not had the right cards and made some adjustments there, but this deck has treated me well on the ranked ladder, I believe, previously, and it's a lot of fun. And Explorer should be a nice change of pace here. I say that now, but we might actually just get completely stomped out. We don't have a swamp to play this forest here, or a swamp to play this forest here. A swamp to play the shambling gas. So we're gonna go with Prosperous Innkeeper. Enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. When another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. That whole life gain thing's super relevant when you're creating a bunch of Scute Swarms. So, because then you're gaining a whole ton of life. Now that we have some black mana thanks to this treasure, we can Binding of Old Gods, whatever they play. Oh God is Dryad of the Elysian Grove, so let's go ahead and just get rid of that. Pow. And then boom. Man, I miss Binding of the Old Gods. What a beautiful card. We're going to search up a woodland chasm as a swamp forest. We're playing snow-covered lands for a specific reason here. And then we'll play Scute Swarm and swing. Opponent might get rid of our Scute Swarm, but we kind of actually want them to do that so we can reanimate it with the Dollhouse of Horrors. And our opponent, not happy that we got rid of their one card, and I guess they may have been stuck on lands and drain deck. That's a free dub. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. But yeah, I was really struggling to come up with any sort of unique standard deck, and struggling to have fun with any of the ones that I did come up with, even if they were, well, not even, none of them were really like super competitive, and I was just not having fun. So we're gonna try and play some Explorer. Hopefully you guys will still enjoy the videos. Um, Magic is magic is magic, so maybe you'll still find these interesting. And also, Explorer should be interesting, though Explorer I think is a little less Like in Historic, you'll see tons of decks. You have like opponents just running 100+ cards, and it's like, what the heck? Frontier's Outlook. The reason we're playing this is, well, I can search up a forest or swamp card, but also, um, no, I meant to put that to like the side. All right, it is what it is. It's a double landfall activation because it enters as a land, it sacrifices and finds itself another land. Great, we get to play against Explorer Poison. This is gonna be great. Just like 5 poison counters. Thankfully, this is an ability that it targets our opponent's creatures. Well, they're still gonna be taking a bunch of poison here. That takes us up to 7. Search up the tap lands that are dual lands. Very nice. And then I think we're just gonna play Binding of the Old Gods again. They might have a protection spell, but they don't. Okay, so we're actually in shape to start scooting. Start the scoot. Karn's Bastion. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. That's too funny. Proliferate. So they got a 3-turn clock on us. We gotta work fast. You hear that? Creatures we control get death touch. That thing sacrifices. We play this. We play this. We duplicate once, and then we might Deadly Dispute on at the end of their turn, because then we can play out. Well, then we can draw 2. Nope, our opponent has nothing in hand. We need to lethal our opponent next turn. Is that possible? We should have played out Spirit of the Elder Guard. We would have had lethal. That's upsetting. Alright, well. Scute Swarm's nice, but not what we need. If we played out Spirit of the Elder Guard, we would have had a chance to kill them. Because I don't think this is going to be enough. This ain't gonna be enough. And we got to the combo, but just not fast enough. We removed everything that they had, but they just had Karn's Bastion. Karn's Bastion, I guess I should show what it does. 4 mana, proliferate. That's all you have. And then it taps for colorless mana. Did our opponent go first, or did we go first? I don't know. We haven't run into Mono Green Devotion, which is supposedly the menace in the menace of Explorer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's a life gain deck. No, it's not a life gain deck. What are we playing against? Oh god. Wait, they're gonna gain so much life with the Scute Swarm. Funny. Nah, I kinda liked my Scute Swarm. You're kidding me. We drew all of our 4-drops. But yeah, Spirit of the Old Guard. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a snow card. or snow land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. It gets +1 +0 for each other snow permanent you control. So it gets, so you get +3, or sorry, +4 +0 at this point in time. I kind of want my Scute Swarm back, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of it. You can gain as much life as you want. The Scutes will eventually finish you off. Search up the dual tap land. Lay out binding. I was gonna say, you can see with his deck we have like a roughly a 60% win rate, and that's over the course of. Do you mind just not fucking exiling our shit for like half a second? Just half a fucking second.
I'm never done for good.
Okay. 3 exile removals down. Muriel. Is this a soldier? It is a soldier. Strange. Alright, we have all of our dual tap lands. I forgot all of our creatures entered the battlefield tap. Thanks for that, bowl. We'll grab a forest. We have a ton of swamps. Honestly, it doesn't make too much of a difference. Alright, let's just go ahead and see what our opponent wants to do. Play this. And just tapped, it doesn't create the treasure token, and we don't actually gain any life from it because of Elesh Norn. They're gonna guess gain like quadruple the life. We don't search a forest card or a land card because of, again, Elesh Norn. They can't cast spells on their turn. Just double exiles. It double exiles. I might have to take a break from Arena, I'm not gonna lie. I am struggling. I am struggling. Okay, this is a decent hand start. We got Shabbling Gas with Deadly Dispute. Shabbling Gas, when it dies, choose one. You can either give another creature -1/-1, or target creature an opponent controls, or we can have it create a treasure token. And then this says, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards, and create a treasure token. Great. Izzet burn? We should be able to Bonnie of the Old Gods next turn. This will help us generate a treasure token, then Shambling Gas can generate a treasure token. Luckily, our opponent can't do that in response because this says it adds an additional cost to cast the spell. So it doesn't like target it, it simply just does it. You pick up what I'm putting down. We won't go ahead and play out Shambling Ghast. We'll wait until next turn and play a Spirit of Olderguard. Help us find a land. I just keep forgetting about this thing's trigger. Before for that would only get bigger. Let's go. I would get searched up a swamp if we want to try and hold up village rights, but I think we'll be fine. Eat this, Solphim. Bonk. Solphim, though, is very concerning because this means they can double up combat damage. Opponent. You are... Oh. And make it indestructible. The fact that exiles is actually a bit of a problem. Alright, well we don't have a good way to get rid of that, so we're just gonna have to live. Was it existing? Is there a way to win from here is the question. We can blow up their Mind Splice apparatus, so we're alright. Ho ho ho! Scute Swarm, you say? Oh, we've ensured Scute Swarm exists because they can't really respond to us playing it. They can only respond to the trigger, and after the trigger is on the stack, it's going to resolve regardless. So we should have like a source of almost infinite jump blockers if we want, but they might just sweeper the board with an Anger of the Gods again. Behold the Multiverse, scry 2, draw 2, nice. Yeah, Anger of the Gods, 3 damage to each creature if it dealt this way. If it would die, exile it instead. That would be the problem. Ah, that is fine, opponent. Have that all you want. Because we're going to have 8 scutes by the end of our turn. Scooty scutes. Hopefully they don't have Pyroclasm. That'd be bad. Or Cinderclasm. What is it called? The one that does 1 damage and then you can kick it for 2 damage to every creature. Forest. Alright, now we're going to do something fun. Play Dollhouse. They deal 2 damage to our face. That's fine. That is fine. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and return Prosperous Innkeeper, which says, well, enter the battlefield, create a treasure token, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield, we gain a life. So let's go ahead and gain 4 life. And yeah, that seems pretty good to me. We'll go ahead, play out this, I guess. Gain another life, just in case. And then there's no reason to swing in. We don't have lethal. Don't have lethal. Next turn though, we can definitely win the game. Hmm. Next turn though, we can definitely win the game. Alright, we gotta reanimate something, but we don't have anything good in our graveyard to reanimate. Let's see. Sacrifice the treasure because it's an artifact, and then we can draw two and create a treasure. Well, you can suck it, opponent. That was rude. The thing that they're exiling all of our creatures has been the biggest problem, though, honestly. We could get in for one, and then next turn we could potentially get in for lethal. Potentially. So our opponent might just kill us here, which is fair. Which is fair. They're allowed to do that. Get ourselves a forest card. Play out a prosperous innkeeper. So we can gain a little life, get down tonight. And our opponent presumably did not count because that's lethal. They should have just held something back. Okay. Took a little while, but we got there again. We got there. That that was, we didn't get to do the Scute thing yet. We didn't get to do the Scute thing. Well, actually, we did it once on that like first game, was it? But no, it was that second or third game where we versed Poison and they just proliferated with Karn's Bastion. That seems they Finn the Fangbearer. I remember you. The time it was the other creature they had besides Venerated Rock Priest. The 2 mana creature, 1/3 with Death Touch, and it says whenever a creature with Death Touch you control like deals damage to the opponent, they get 2 poison counters. So yeah, that's how they got so many poison counters so fast. I guess I should have hovered that while we were in that match. Alright. This hand is interesting, but it works. It works. The Shamblers. Create 2 treasure tokens. Royalty. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I remember when Deadly Dispute and Shambling Gas were in standard. Discard deck, eh? Okay. How about new? Is that an option? Oh god, I love Binding of the Old Gods. What a glorious card. Destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. The Swiss Army Knife for removal that also ramps you the following turn. Good stuff. Bye-bye Alderguard. Oh, that. That was not what I predicted. What do I care about more? Old Stink Fingers. Stink Fingers? Stick Fingers is less relevant. Let's get a forest. We already have like a bunch of swamps. For the older guard, we'll start chunking in at our opponent. It grows with each land that we play. Very nice. You can discard the swamp. And then Stick Fingers can also be pretty massive if we want it. Play this, mill 3 creatures. Whenever you cast a spell, reveal cards until top the library until you reveal 3 creatures and they go into your graveyard. Kill it anyways. Got him. Bonk. Alright, we got lethal on board. Do they have a response? We're up to 8 or 6 mana. Sorry. I said 8. I counted 5 and then I counted 3, which when you count 2 cards twice, that's a pretty good way to wait. That's not gonna do it. Dang, we have not gotten the Scute going off. No Scutes going off. How many rares are in this deck? I don't even think there's that many rares in this deck. That's a lie. There's the legendary Gogari, like Hydra creature. There's the 4 Dollhouses, the 4 Scutes, the 4... That might actually be it. Not that many rares, I guess. His hand is actually awful. I don't know why I kept it. Opponent goes first though, so maybe we'll roll into an answer. Ooh, Cave of the Frost Dragon. You can pay 5 to animate it as a 3. Oh no, not Luminarch Aspirant. That's bad for us. We'll play down the tap land and get ourselves a forest. I don't know. We already have 2 swamps, 2 forests. I think we're gonna die a death of Luminarch Aspirant. This is Boros aggro. Opponent's held up 2 mana. Do you have like Sacred Fire or something? Nope. Nothing on. They did nothing. That's so strange. Anyways, we can Binding of the Old God with a Luminarch Aspirant. Unless they have protection spell for it. Which at this point they might. I mean, we still get a ramp. They do have a protection spell for it. They might just be stuck on lands though. They're stuck on lands. I don't know how we've consistently had pretty thick hands of lands. Maybe we run more lands than I think in this deck. Ooh, no, this is still better. We get the clue token if we let that resolve, but we also get to draw 2 if we let this resolve, which is better. I still don't think we need more swamps. You'd see, the lands are strong with this deck. Now we get to demonstrate something super fun. Opponent will probably enjoy this a great deal, because it means that they're probably going to take a boatload of damage. That's an 8-1 haster. Now the reason why it's an 8-1 is because it still has this, it gets +1/+0 for each other snow permanent you control, even if it's a construct and everything. It would have been nice to have Deadly Dispute open there. We haven't hit any more creatures. It's very awkward. Alright, well, actually you win this game, opponent, because we've flooded the... flooded out, to say... we flooded out a bit. I mean, we tutored up like 1... We thinned the deck, but we tutored up 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. So, it somewhat makes sense, but at the same time, it's somewhat ridiculous. Core damage coming in hot. The game swings back into our opponent's favor. Do we draw into anything and every... How many lands do we have in this deck? No, I don't want to see the opponents. What about my deck? Oh, maybe I can. I can't do that. Or wait, no, you. Lands? Hmm. I don't even think. Hmm. We had like a over 70% chance to hit a non-land. I don't want to deadly dispute our dollhouse. It's an option, but I think maybe we should have. Actually, we're dead. Alright. I think they would have killed us if they just animated their lands. Particularly Den of the Bugbear. There's a 3/2 that creates a goblin. Do they have enough mana too? They don't. Okay. That's why they didn't. Gain a little life. Find find a land. Opponent, you gotta love this hand. Trust me, bro, you're gonna love it. It's the spirit of the Elder Guard. Oh god. +2/+, it auto attaches, gives it +2/+2 and flying. What was that legendary flood? That was a legendary. Like how many lands do we have in this deck? I gotta check real quick. I just gotta know. I just have to know. 26. Okay, we have more than normal, but still. That was biblical, some people might say. Just a handful of 6 lands in a and a deadly dispute or whatever it's called. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's the Oracle of the Alpha wielding the Power 9. Alright, bad hand. Better hand. Get rid of the binding. Okay. What is our opponent playing? I'm very intrigued. You have my attention. Trying to think of how much of the Eldrazi are colorless stuff? Nope. Okay, they're just red and got unlucky. Hey, you don't go stomping it. Oh, it got. Yo, that's hilarious. Nice. Since I fizzled it, it went to their graveyard. That's too funny. That's actually so funny. Because normally, if it's you use the adventure side here, and then it goes into exile. You may cast this card as an adventure. After you exile it, you may cast this creature, the creature itself, later from exile. Damn. I would have preferred that not to get exiled, but fair enough. Wow, exile removal. Out. Out the nose. I have nothing to remove with the Binding of the Old Gods, so it seems kind of trouble to play them now. Typical. The more, the messier. I disagree, Tybalt. Well, actually, he's got kind of a point, but I was feeling more like the more the merrier. AK, why not have like a million scoots? Hmm? Hmm? Thoughts? This binding of the old gods is gonna do so good. Don't bother to block. You can pump it all you want. Rimrock Knight. Feels like our opponent is playing like an old standard deck or something. I don't know what this does, but all I know is it's dangerous. So you're going. Alright, next turn we can play Scute Swarm. And then if it dies, we can reanimate it with Dollhouse. Stomp. See? It now goes into exile. Because both are adventure cards. That was not a smart move, opponent. If I could just do this. Wait until after you attack him to do that. Find the Tapland. And then we can play out double Scute Swarm. There's no way they all get removed. Not like they could play Anger of the Gods. They probably aren't. They're playing Burn. The Burn is going horribly. Like, this has been very sad. But, it is Burn. Alright, now we get to start the Scute shenanigans. The shenanigans. The Scutes be scooting. Furious and our... This is the real Phyrexian. This is the real Phyrexian overtaking Scute Swarm. They get bigger and bigger with each one we get. Nah, we don't need to block you when we have Scutes. They'll overcome your forge very fast. Yes, yes, it's a land. Alright. The Scutes! The Scutes! They take over! Yes, they're all 4/4s. What can we reanimate? Oh, I should have reanimated a Prosperous Innkeeper before that, but it's fine. Now they're all 5/5s. Our opponent dies here. Is the funny thing. We finally did it. The Scutes! The Scutes! The Scutes! Oh, we got the combo off. Even we won games without the combo. That's awesome. I love you, Scute Swarm. The biggest tragedy of Magic overall, it wasn't like I'm trying to think of like what some people uh the biggest tragedy in my book is clearly it's no other thing can top this. The fact that they banned Meat Hook Massacre after Scute Swarm rotated. Like, come on. The Scutes the Scutes already a 3-drop 1/1. How much more nerfing did it need? Good thing we're on the play. Because we might actually have a problem with the... Oh, they're stuck at 2 mana. Yeah. Let's go! Free win! We have 26 lands, so we never miss them. Maybe add 26 lands to your deck. No, I'm joking. The secret to ranking up is actually Scute Swarm. I have kept this a secret a long time. I didn't actually climb to Mythic in Standard. It was all just Scute Swarm. No, I'm joking. I did climb to Mythic last season with with standard decks only. We did play like one like set of games of that one historic deck, but that did not dramatically impact our rank. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Nice. He's got a big deck. Ayo. A massive, large, huge, some might say, deck. No, they're Dimir, so I don't appreciate them. You know what? Because you're rude to me, I'll be rude to you. Fuck you and your wizard class. This guy was lending you a hand. He was offering you a place to stay. Prosperous innkeeper. He was acting all kind and everything, and you just had to cut him down. You performed a heartless act. Oop, I almost clicked decline. That would have been embarrassing. Vengeful? No way. Oh, that's funny. We'll play out Grakmaw. Grakmaw. Hedges the battle with 3+1/+1 counters. Whenever another creature you control dies, if it had a +1 counter on it, put a +1 counter on Grakmaw. When Grakmaw dies, create an XX black-green Hydra token, Hydra creature token, where X is the number of counters on Grakmaw. So if Grakmaw dies, basically just create a 3/3. Upkeep. I'm assuming that we're... Oh wait, is this on their upkeep? I do wonder. Can we do this Scute Swarm in a land? We can. Beauty. Beauty. So that trigger could have almost ruined our Scute Swarm gaming. So would you look at that? It died. Oh, we get a 3/3. And we ended up gaining life. Thanks to Prosperous Innkeeper. Beautiful. Beautiful. Then, play another Grakmaw. Gain another life. Swing in with another 3/3. They block the token. Could play out Dollhouse there, but oh baby. Oh baby. Alright, this is the best that we could get. A Riveteer's Outlook with Scute Swarm. Because it's double landfall trigger. What's that? Did I hear 4 Scutes on the battlefield? 27 life? We can reanimate Grakmaw with our Dollhouse. Soul Shatter. Alright, Scute Swarm, valiant effort. The reality is I could just go for lethal here and reanimate this, I think, and this kills them. Wait, no it doesn't. Oh, it'll be interesting. Okay, not quite lethal. If they sweep of the board without getting rid of our Dollhouse, we just win the game, because we can just hasten another creature. But yeah, that's another build. We were so close to getting our Scute Swarm dupe going. Or Robo Scute Swarm going. I will count the rares when we go over the deck again at the end, and then we can see just how expensive is this deck. It's for the most part, it's commons and uncommons, it feels like. Opponent. Think I might be disconnected, but my music stopped just because, not because I like lost all internet connection, but more so because it timed out. Our opponent might just actually be choosing whether or not they want to keep or discard. But yeah, I might record some videos of Explore deck, so please, uh, hopefully you'll give me a break here and still enjoy the videos. I think they're cool decks, and these decks are like decks that I've gotten more time to spend on like actually getting them to work and everything. Nice, the World Tree. I like it. Dude, I love the World Tree. It enables so much tasty, juicy jank because it says as long as you control 6 or more lands, the lands you control have add mana of any 1 mana of any color. It was super nice. Do a little drawing. Play out a Shambling Ghast. Gain a life, end turn. Dude, Shambling Ghast. I missed this card. I don't even think it was broken, it was just good. Nice! Ah man, though I feel bad for what I'm about to do. But maybe they have the exact same plan as us. I really want to say sorry. I didn't even have to do that. Binding of the Old Gods. I am trolling. Oh. What is our opponent's deck up to? They got the same colors as us. They're not playing snow-covered stuff, though. They're probably not playing Spirit of the Elder Guard, at least. Alright, we're approaching... It's a Riva Ivor, Bane of Bladehold token deck. At the beginning of your combat turn, this is an actual new card. At the beginning of your combat turn, the next time target creature would deal damage to 1 or more players this combat. Prevent that damage. If damage prevented this way, create that many 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. The funny thing is, it's not an optional trigger. So every single combat, they have to pick a creature that will deal no damage and instead create mites. Cool card, but it's gonna have to go. Sorry, I feel bad now. Opponent obviously having a little struggle with their draw. Granted, we don't have any like major threats on the board, so we're giving them time, you know, giving them space while just slightly punishing them. Whoa, that's spooky. Fable Passage. That's a good card to play in a multicolored deck with basics and with Scute Swarm, fetch land. All right, Cultivate. So it looks like your opponent is playing Abzan. Nope. Alright, we've hit our lands. Alright, we've hit our lands. It's okay, deck. It's gonna be fine. Just it's alright. We have... What is the chances that we hit another land? Why can't it? Oh, because it thinks I'm hovering on my friends list. Maybe? 66% chance that we hit non-lands. This is cool. We're gonna go block this just because I don't want to, well, our 66% chance did not come true. We hit another land. Opponent, you withstood the test. You win. They should have targeted the Iron Warlord, I feel like. We need life, so we're gonna gain life with this. We can also thin the deck some, which is something. And then we can Bonnie the Old Gods. Iron Root Warlord. And we're dead. Attacking with everything, everything gets a buff because this has a battle cry. It means whenever this creature attacks, other attacking creatures get +1/+0. Oh my goodness. Another flood. Another flood. I guess that happens when you have 26 lands. We have like a reasonable amount of card draw with 4 village rights and 4 what are they called? Deadly disputes, but sometimes you just don't want to miss your land drops, I guess. Wait, our land drops covered for the next 4 turns. Alright, we're gonna hit our lands. We can keep this. Yeah, we have a 40% chance to hit a land. Awesome. Hit a land. Oh, wait. Shambling Ghast. Silly. You're supposed to go onto the battlefield. Opponent, the normal thing is to kill it. Don't trap it up. That's inhumane. Screw it, we can do this. If any of our gas die, we get a treasure token. That's kind of worth. Unless they have Anger of the Gods, which exiles and does damage to everything. We're also probably just gonna draw a land anyways. Alright, no we don't draw a land. Give us treasure. There we go. Let's grab another forest. No tax. Gas can trade with one of the tokens, as well as Spirit of the Older Guard can kill one. Gas can also give out a -1/-1 after doing 1 damage. Another wedding announcement. Okay. Don't let them draw cards with that or do anything else. Got it down now. And then if we top deck a land, we can play Scute Swarm and start the duping. They have to draw a card, gain a life. Create a 2/2. Do we want to get rid of it? Um, yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a land. We should be fine. Well, we should get a land off of Binding the Old Gods. We just need a land off the top to play Scute Swarm and then dupe it. Alright, I guess we're gonna do this the slow way. Grab this. Grab a swamp. And then we'll hold that till next turn. I don't like that. But you can play over the top. Or you just don't have a response to another Spirit of the Elder Guard. We still have 3 permanents, so that didn't really change much. Oh, okay. Fine by me. No blocks. We kind of want this process Innkeeper for as long as humanly possible. And draw a card. Alright. He's a pretty nice opponent. Why did they say good game so early? I'm still confused. Like, do they think they have it in the bag, or is it just... Okay. Fine by me. It doesn't really matter which one we target. They're all gonna die. We get treasure token and roll 2. Bam. We take 3 damage from devils. It'd be really nice to have a crack land. That is not a crack land. Yeah, we can do this. Play out this. Play out a Dollhouse of Horrors. Go ahead. Reanimate a Scute Swarm. Though we might have a little bit of a problem here. Our opponent has a 2-mana response to our Scute Swarm entering the battlefield off of the Prosperous Innkeeper trigger, because we'd love to play a forest before they permanently remove our Scute. Alright, the Scute dupe has begun. We escaped the danger zone. We now have a 2/2 with haste. Let's go. Good game, opponent. Good game. Bonk. And then we can start reanimating other things like the Spirit of Aldergard, which will be a massive card. It'll be absolutely massive. I'm not even kidding, it's going to be huge. We could also reanimate something else with our Dollhouse of Horrors. Our second Dollhouse of Horrors. Do you have a way to remove the Scute? Problem is, there's already a copy of it. Ah. Will you find your depopulate before we find another Scute? That is the question. That is the eternal question. Play out Dollhouse of Horrors. Spirit of the Aldergard. This should do us very, very well. This finds us a land, so we can play a land to trigger Scute Swarm. Admittedly, I could have created another Prosperous Innkeeper before I entered the battlefield, a 11/3. Create a Prosperous Innkeeper copy. play a snow-covered forest. Would you look at that? That's kind of big. Play a land. They copy. They become even bigger. We gain more life. Opponent here shaping up to be a bit dead. The Robo Overlords attack. They have to block the 15-6, and if they do that, we get through with 12 plus 7, 19 damage. Yeah, they have to pay mana to get rid of that. That's gonna leave a mark. If they sweeper, we get a Grakmaw token, as well as we can reanimate more stuff with these dollhouses. So if they have another to populate, we are super in the clear still. They gain a little life. Ooh, that is that. Oh, come on, opponent! You just missed out on having. We would have had 12 scutes, and they would have all been 12/12s. Actually, they would have been bigger than that. It would have all been 14/14s. Damn it, opponent! Come on now. Just let it happen. It's gonna be fine. Alright, well, let's hop into the deck tech. I think we've demonstrated why this deck is an absolute blast and how it is still actually quite competitive here in Explorer. Alright, this is the deck, Scute Dolls. I can't entirely take credit for this deck list because I don't think, honestly, I came up with the majority of it. I saw, like, I feel like I saw a bunch of it uh, from, like, Mono Black Magic or I think CGB also played a version of this where you use Scute Swarm with Dollhouse of Horrors. A really good card with that though is Spirit of the Alder Guard, which I do recall seeing in like Mono Black Magic. And then you can throw in all these Deadly Dispute, Village Rites, and like Shambling Gas shenanigans to make sure that your creatures end up at the graveyard, so you can reanimate them with Dollhouse of Horrors and get more value off of their enter the battlefields. So yeah, the deck consists of 4 Shambling Gas, 1 drop, 1/1. When it dies, we get to choose one of 2 things. We can either give target creature and opponent controls -1/-1, which can be really handy. This trades up with 2/2s, or anything with 2 toughness, this can trade with, which is nice. And then it can also create treasure tokens. So this with Deadly Dispute, like we play this turn 1, we play this turn 2. Well, not only did we draw 2 cards, we also created 2 treasures. So the next turn we have 4 or 5 mana at our disposal potentially, but also we can then just use those 2 treasures on that same turn if we want to play like a Prosperous Innkeeper or something. Village Rites, very similar to the Deadly Dispute in the sense that we just sacrifice a creature as a cost to cast it, and then we can draw 2 cards if it resolves. We can do this at instant speed, so we can hold this up if we think our opponent's going to remove something and then target that, sacking it, or we can then use Village Rites to sack that creature in response and draw cards, fizzling that removal. Deadly Dispute, yep, this is basically the same as Village Rites, besides it creates a treasure token, it's 1 more mana, and can also sacrifice artifacts. So if we have treasure tokens lying around, we can also sacrifice our treasure tokens to draw 2 cards, and then create a treasure token again. Speaking of treasure tokens, Prosperous Innkeeper, this card is an absolute G. 2 mana, 1/1, enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. When another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. I think most creatures that enter the battlefield and create an untapped treasure token, actually that's a lie. Jewel Thief is a really good example of one that's successful in Standard right now, but this one is pretty much the OG of enter the battlefield, create a treasure token, and be very playable. This card, really great for the treasure token. It's 2 mana ramp. but also awesome because it gains us life, which works really well when you're creating a bunch of tokens with Scute Swarm. Now, Prosperous Innkeeper. Yeah, that's Prosperous Innkeeper. We have one copy of Old Stick Fingers here just to have a little fun, I guess. It's a 2 mana X spell, which says when you cast the spell, reveal reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creatures. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard. So you pay X into the X cost, and then that guarantees you're going to have a certain number of creatures in your graveyard. And then its power and toughness is equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Scute Swarm. This is the Landfall Boyo, the super fun card from Zendikar. What set is that? I do need to know. I do kind of need to know. Yeah, Zendikar Rising. Okay. Zendikar Rising. Landfall, though, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, it's going to check whether or not you have 6 lands then. If you have 6 lands, you create a token copy of Scute Swarm, which means that Scute Swarm also has landfall, so like when you play another land, you have 2 Scute Swarms that are going to copy each other, so you get 4 Scute Swarms, and then if you do that again, you got 8 Scute Swarms, the whole doubling thing. But if you have less than 6 lands, it still does something. It creates you a 1/1 insect creature token, which is kind of nice because you can still use that to sack 2 Deadly Dispute, Village Rites, or just chump the opponent's attacks. And then also, one of the problems with Scute Swarm, if you're going to play Scute Swarm in any other deck, is that Scute Swarm is a 1/1, like a 3 mana 1/1, which is problematic because it's really good at dying to removal, like anything. So this deck actually kind of is like plays into that. If our opponent generally will kill Scute Swarm pretty fast, so if we play out Scute Swarm, we can kind of guarantee it's going to go to the graveyard, and then we can reanimate it with Dollhouse of Horrors, and Dollhouse Horrors reanimated Scute Swarm is even better than original Scute Swarm because it starts gaining power and toughness, so that it's not actually going to die to removal so easily. But yeah, the trick, I would say, like, the biggest trick of playing around Scute Swarm, or playing Scute Swarm, is if you can, wait until you have 5 mana and a land in hand, you play the Scute Swarm, and then you play a land immediately, and then the token, like the copy trigger is on the stack. So even if they remove the original Scute, you already have a token copy of that Scute that will copy itself the next time you play a land. So that's a good way to sort of guarantee your Scute Swarm lives to some degree. But there's a bit of a problem with Prosperous Innkeeper. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So this means when you play Scute Swarm, you're going to have that Prosperous Innkeeper trigger go on the stack, and that gives your opponent a chance to actually respond and kill your Scute Swarm before you have a chance to play a land. So that's important to note. Grakmaw, Skyclave Rager, or Ravager. We have 3 of these. This card is just good with Dollhouse of Horrors. It's good for chumping. It's a 3 mana 33 that if it dies, it creates another 3/3. It creates a 3/3 token basically. So the reason it's good with Dollhouse of Horrors though is if it dies and then we reanimate it with Dollhouse of Horrors, um, you get those +1/+1 counters. So you reanimate it, it becomes a 1/1 construct, and then it gains 3+1/+1 counters. So even if you have no other constructs onto the battlefield, it's a 4/4 with haste that you can just reanimate, which makes it a nice deadly threat. So if your opponent sweepers the board, you just reanimate the Skyclave Ravager and Ravager. Ravager, whatever. Grakmaw. You reanimate it, swings in for 4 damage. An even better example of getting pumps, regardless of the fact it is becoming a construct, is Spirit of the Alderguard. You notice for the land base we're playing all of these snowlands, and there's a good reason for that because Spirit of the Alderguard, when it enters the battlefield, search your library for snowland card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. So this allows us to tutor up any of our lands. We can even tutor up a dual land if we want. So So in some cases, if we don't have anything else to do with like the extra mana, we can just tutor up a dual land and play that dual land that turn. So that's a good example of one that might be relevant. But usually we're going to be tutoring up either a swamp or a forest, and then but yeah, it gets +1/+1 for each other snow permanent you control. So it gets basically +1 plus, or sorry, it gets +1/+0 for each snow permanent you control. So it gets +1/+0 for each land we control, which is very nice. Speaking of why we're playing the lands that we are, Binding of the Old Gods. This says destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. This is awesome. It's basically like a Swiss Army knife of removal. We can destroy creatures, enchantments, artifacts, planeswalkers, you name it. And then the second chapter is great because it helps ramp us to try and get to those 6 lands as fast as possible. So when we play Scute Swarm, we can instantly copy it or get that copy effect for 6 lands on the battlefield. It is important to note it says search for a forest card from and put it into the battlefield tapped. Well, the nice thing about these snow dual lands here is they actually have the basic land types. They have swamp forest. So we can search up a woodland chasm that's off of the Binding of the Old Gods, and that's really nice. And then lastly, creatures you control gain Death Touch, which is never particularly relevant. I mean, it could be relevant if we have a bunch of Scute Swarms, and then they all attack in for like 1 damage, but they'll kill whatever they touch, which is cool. Dollhouse of Horrors, kind of the one of the 2 centerpieces of the deck. It allows us to reanimate and play creatures from our graveyard. So we're really sad when our creatures get exiled, but when they're not, oh my goodness, it is glorious. Because then we can start making big creatures out of nowhere. And that's the deck, Scute Dolls. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It helps out a ton. And have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Ciao.